Oh yeah, TABOO, we love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, Fiji serious about Bulla bubble. Police improve juvenile facilities. And late response still concerns Cancer Society.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
The Fijian government is serious about making the Bulla bubble work despite the re-emergence of COVID-19 cases in the countries like New Zealand and Australia. Prime Minister Bainimarama confirmed they are still in discussions with development partners while officiating at the Suva Retailers Recognition Night in Suva. He says contrary to some media reports, they have indeed expressed interest to New Zealand in resuming regular travel. Bainimarama says until our border reopens, the revenue of most businesses will not be what it used to be.
Given that Fiji is COVID contained, given we have gone over 170 days without a new case of the virus, given the exemplary job we have done at managing our border, and given the economic urgency of resuming flows of trade and tourism, we are keen to see those discussions advance past the exploratory phase and on to practical progress as soon as possible.
The limited number of juvenile facilities has been a long-standing issue the Fiji police have been trying to address. Acting Deputy Commissioner ITENDRA NAIR shared this during a virtual submission to the Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and Defence this morning. NAIR says the facilities currently in use were built over the past 50 years and at times are not able to accommodate the number of juveniles taken in for questioning. He adds various strategies have been put together to ensure juvenile facilities are separate from those occupied by adults.
Thank you, Alex.
The new police stations which are coming up for us, the 3 under construction now, which is at Nandi, Lotoka and Nakasi, we certainly are having juvenile facilities, detention facilities for our juvenile offenders and young persons. So that's one of them, sir.
The Fiji Women's Crisis Centre has called on Fijians to challenge the stereotypes surrounding breast cancer. Centre coordinator Shamima Ali says there are a lot of stereotypes associated with breast cancer, with sexual stereotypes being the most common. Ali says that breast cancer is a taboo topic and an embarrassing discussion in many families. She adds everyone should focus on challenging the stereotypes and stigmatization associated with breast cancer and giving survivors a space in society to share their stories. Ali says education is also vital in the fight against breast cancer. There is a need for nurses in Fiji to be trained in oncology or the treatment of cancer. Head of surgery at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital, Dr. JOSESE TURAGAVA, says the issue is the unavailability of courses at the universities. Nurses currently work in oncology learn from experience. Dr. TURAGAVA says there are many experienced nurses providing care. However, accreditation is still needed.
We've been fortunate as doctors that we've got the Masters in Surgery, the Masters in Medicine, all integrated into the FNU course. But that is still something lacking that probably the government and the universities can actually work together to streamline their development so that they can actually be recognized for what they've actually been doing.
A plant nursery has been commissioned in Nambitu, Singapore. Agriculture Minister DR.MAHENDRA.REDDY says the nursery will cater for farmers along both sides of the Singapore River, easing transport costs and ensuring convenience in sourcing materials. Dr. Reddy applauded farmer PARVEEN Singh for building the nursery with the assistance from the Ministry of Agriculture in providing free seedlings after tropical cyclones Harold and Winston.
We are establishing throughout Fiji a number of nurseries in collaboration with members in the private sector, like Mr. Singh. We gave him a small leverage, and now you can see how he has expanded the small support we gave him. He is, with his own surplus, he has expanded the nursery. That's what I mean when I say that you treat agriculture like a business.
The youth of TABOO Levu village in TABOO have been urged to learn new skills necessary during these changing times. Youth Minister KUMAR assured the youth clubs in TABOO that the government will continue to empower them. The minister handed over farming tools and seedlings to 5 youth clubs who are part of the Youth Farm project yesterday. Most of these clubs fundraised to begin farming 3 months ago, and KUMAR says the assistance will add value to what they already are doing.
Improve their livelihood in the community, create employment opportunities, improve the youth and community bond, and most importantly, it will also discourage the youth from engaging in unlawful activities and of course serve as a source of income.
KUMAR says the youth farm projects that started 2 months ago has seen a huge success. Up ahead, timely boost for Lotoka and IDC, and no Skipper Cup and Vanua Championship this week.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
The Lotoka football side will feature in the courts inter-district championship, which starts today with some much-needed assistance. With just hours away from their first 2020 IDC match with BOG defending champions Rewa, Lotoka-based company Pimeji has come on board to sponsor the side through their supermarket Fresh Choice. The Sugar City team will be known as Fresh Choice Lotoka for the IDC. Lotoka captain Zibraz Sahib says the sponsorship is timely and they plan to do wonders tonight.
Actually, we're trying to adapt to the weather. It's raining and also sunny at the same time. Hopefully there's no rain in the afternoon. But even though if it rains, we just have to adapt to the weather. Into first game of the tournament, any team come across, it's always hard. So we're preparing well for that. Hopefully tonight game goes towards us.
All Fiji Rugby Union games scheduled for this week have been postponed due to unfavorable weather conditions. This has been confirmed by FRU Operations Manager and Tournament Director Sale Sorobaki. These include all Skipper Cup round 12 games this weekend. Sorobaki says the Vodafone Vanua Championship semi-finals scheduled for this week have been moved to a later date. The FRU will confirm later when the Skipper Cup and Vanua Championship will resume. The Nunuku Loa rugby side is gunning to make it to its first Skipper Cup competition next year. The Ra-based side is hoping to achieve this under the guidance of head coach Chochi Rinakama. Rinakama assisted the Flying Fijians in reaching the quarterfinals of the 2007 Rugby World Cup, where they lost to the Springboks. The former Nandronga and Naitasiri mentor knows there's still a lot of work before they take on Rewa next Saturday.
Offside line. They should, I think that's where we get some more penalties. And the decision making from all of them, especially when we are at the danger zone, when we are now taking green zone. So they have to make use of the opportunity. Decision making is their downfall.
The golden boy of Fiji, Sakaraebe, hopes to see boxing expanded to other parts of the country. The 65-year-old says boxing hasn't made any significant progress over the years despite efforts to elevate the sport. Ve says there are several factors holding boxing back.
Boxing was a much respected sport 40 to 50 years ago, but I cannot see any progress in the sport locally. I want to thank Manasambara Vilala and his team for the work they've done, but I think it's the skills, knowledge, and of course we need the budget to help the sport grow.
Partly cloudy skies are the order of the day across Fiji, with a chance of scattered showers and possibly a thunderstorm, especially in the east and the interior of the larger islands. And that's FBC News now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. In times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Enjoy your lunch.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
Bula FM number 2 and seri.